Good morning, and welcome into day 2 of the Boston Major. Things are getting tense as we have a lower round matchup for you. Eliminations on the board for both teams. Liquid and Elevate coming into this one hot off of a couple of best-of-5s yesterday. And my goodness, there's upset potential here for Elevate.
First elimination matchup of the tournament, and I couldn't be more thrilled to get into this one. Team Liquid, Elevate. I mean, I think that it's an understatement to say that Elevate started to make some waves yesterday. I mean,
sure,
they were really bringing it to Vitality, and everybody was caught off guard. Nobody expected it, but I think we're all happy to see it and to see Realize out here making waves, like I said, and silencing a lot of the haters of this region. Elevate, who knows what could happen if they could take a game off of Vitality, but Liquid know exactly how they want to start things out.
Certainly going to have to punch above the weight class and deal with the mechanics of Liquid. One of the best in the world. Very early on, a double commit, but nonetheless, a 1-0 lead for Liquid. Very quickly seeing the offense sprout.
And this is the scary thing for Liquid. That's a solo play from Oski, and for Elevate, that's all you're going to be seeing on defense. Team Liquid don't have to take the risk of sending multiple people whenever the 1v1 plays. The mechanics will shine through. Early shot, though, from Elevate off the kickoff. It's been a good string of possession, and there's the little burst of brilliance that we've seen out of Elevate that could change the tide of the battle.
Started to have Vitality stun lock yesterday as Elevate put them to the test. One of the best matches you're really going to see, though the result did not go their way. Going to need similar rebounds on the offensive side and clear off those boards. Elevate certainly have everything they need to get it done, but for Team Liquid, again, a tough one, a really hard best-of-5 against Complexity yesterday. They come into here knowing they have to start making that run of a gauntlet.
And it was a difficult game and/or series for Liquid. The biggest thing I noticed was definitely the shot accuracy. And speaking of accuracy, off the post and in, Kami coming out 1-to-1 Elevate.
It's those nice rebounds. We saw it yesterday. Elevate do a very good job in the close paint. They do so much with such little space. And a wonderful rebound to tie this one up.
I mean, perfect example that accuracy is all you need. Forget about the power. If you can outpace the last goalkeeper, doesn't matter what happens or how much pace is behind the ball, as long as it's on target. Elevate, welcome to the series, and it's such a good thing for this squad to get back into the game quickly. A toe off the backboard looking for something tricky, trying to throw as many illusions off the backboard as he can. A Chronic behind the ball, slow little dribble, and Kami is disrupting him. Love to see the aggression from Elevate.
Keeping it individual for the moment. Realize not too threatening on the challenge, but regardless, qualifications here into the sidewall we go as Liquid start their press, and we start to see numbers trickling up to the midfield. Into the orange side, Liquid pushing one at a time, looking for the musty, but the defense way too smart for that, holding their spot and turtling up appropriately.
Now we question when Team Liquid will realize they need to send a couple more players than just a solo air dribble. This is a Chronic by himself looking for a solo pinch. Not a lot of movement as a unit for Team Liquid. Like I mentioned, it's a safer route than having to send multiple people. You understand why they're going for it. But Elevate have shown they have the defense to stand up to those mechanics. And now with a demo, they might be able to get the second goal and take the lead. Good possession out of Elevate, but nothing quite answering.
It's been tough rotations, man disadvantage there for Liquid. One for Elevate as well, trades back and forth. A couple of demos that ring out through the midfield. And all things staying quiet on this front. We open up proceedings with a goal apiece for both sides, and yet again, we'll try to fight for possession on the clear in the adjacent corner. There goes Realize, trying to get involved. A moment.
What a fake.
A little bit sloppy at the midfield. Both teams are trying to find the angle.
Elevate do seem very composed too. I think all the experience coming out from this team competing internationally is starting to pay off. Not panicking in the backfield. Nobody's overextending, double committing. Virtuoso could have stayed up for that pass that Kami was seeking out. Now, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board to figure things out. Will this be a solo play again from a toe? Yes, it is. Flip reset. Denied again. Oski to the sidewall. He wants to go for a solo play himself, but he gets bumped out the way, and a good string of defense out of Elevate.
Not a lot of rebounds for both teams. Once you get your first look at the possession, bumped off the play. Physicality certainly coming out early in game 1. Still a best-of-5 if you're just joining us. Welcome into the first match here on Main. It's been a fun one so far. A goal apiece. Here we go. A Chronic moves up into the box. Numbers for Liquid start and very quickly fall back. Seen that a couple of times where a poke free and a check in the midfield, both teams getting the ball out quickly.
But there's been good moments. I feel like I been seeing a lot of highlights out of Elevate. I'm not sure what I expected coming into the series, but they've been able to find clears when they need to. Virtuoso doesn't panic on the goal line. It's disastrous at first. It looked like it could have slipped out, but the pressure ends up overwhelming this Elevate defense.
Yeah, fish in a barrel with this one. A Tao with a shotgun standing underneath, and my goodness, Liquid pounce quickly. You don't waste a lot of time nor expense. 55 to play, under a minute in game one. Liquid on the point of going up 1-0 in the series. Off the kickoff, we've seen this before, but Elevate need to find a response, and they need to win some of those rebounds back at the midfield.
They were quite patient to get that mistake, or to at least find an opening against Elevate. Definitely sing the praises of Team Liquid too. They didn't get frustrated with all of these shots, with all of the opportunities, and Ato extends the lead, gets the security, and he's earned himself a safety net in this game.
I mean, just look at the boost totals for Elevate. You can't challenge this far often. The crossbar is going to be tough. The aerial game even better for Liquid. No touches on the backboard. And individual play, the mechanics for Liquid, what got them towards this point, will keep them involved in moving through this gauntlet of a Boston Major. Very early on, Liquid showing that they are the better team at the moment.
And it is validating to this approach that Team Liquid have in game number one, that if you just send one person forward, don't get too risky, it will still work out against Elevate, who need to pick things up in the solo play department and how they're approaching those challenges, because a Chronic by himself shouldn't be getting shots like that. Virtuoso back into the corner. Maybe some last second heroics, anything, one for the road, something to build momentum on, because game two, they've got to make some adjustments.
Well, this major matters a lot for both teams, but for Liquid, one of the hard parts is done, of course. They qualified for the main event for Worlds yesterday, so now they're trying to fight for seeding as Vitality is in front of them.
Yeah.
It's a foot race they don't want to have often. But for Elevate, upset potential against Vitality, now have to make small adjustments against Liquid. Tournament life on the line, they're down one.
Yeah, tournament life, as well as the main event spot in Dusseldorf, Germany. They've already secured a wild card spot, Elevate. But if they, I believe if they get a top 3 showing at this major, they could secure a main event spot. However, of course, if they're knocked out right here, they will have to go through the wild card. But that's a lot of looking into the future right now. You need to stay present, focus on this series alone as we take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay. That was the moment that defined game number one. Things started to slip up. That mistake on the goal line where nobody was sure how to approach the save, how to get the touch, and things crumbled after that.
And it's got to be tough, right? You're low on boost. You know Liquid's going to crash the paint. When that happens, it's either get a chip rebound, play through the corner. If you can't do that, you're kind of screwed, and that's what Liquid do so well. Welcome back. How you doing? So this is how this series is going to go. Like, we're going to give you the mechanics off the backboard. If they don't have the space to work with, Elevate have to find a way to get those touches at midfield.
And with such a high mechanical approach from Team Liquid, it's even more frustrating if you're Elevate, because what do you need to fuel the mechanics? You need a lot of boost. And Team Liquid, they sure know how to rotate through the midfield, through the corners of even your own half. They're going to starve you out, and that's why you see the panicked play on defense. Game number 2 about to be underway, and Elevate have everything to fight for. Not a lot to lose, to be honest with you, but they want to go out swinging.
Just the memories, because implications do matter. If Elevate lose this series, the Patriots over in APAC are eliminated from Worlds. So there's more riding on the line than just what Elevate has in their stakes. But here we go into game number 2 on Forbidden Temple. So far, the opening kickoff goes the way of Elevate. And they keep it going, though. We were looking for that sustained offense that they had against Vitality that has yet to show up here in this series.
Oh, Oski.
Liquid's a different beast. And so is Oski with 2 demos. They can't convert it.
And it looks like they're more confident now after getting that game 1 victory. Extending Oski in the rotation, looking for bumps. The Chronic's also trying to get a piece of both defenders on the defensive side of Elevate. And you can see what's happened after they get and find their footing in this series. I mean, you get more aggressive. Team Liquid, that's a scary monster that I'm not sure Elevate know how to slay.
And Liquid are fighting for possession so far on the back line. Elevate have to be ready to meet that challenge. Every single time somebody's up, a hand is in your face. Into the blue half we go. Following through, realize we're keeping Nor the ground. Oski still fighting for one on the side wall. Chip shot to the midfield. And a very easy touch for a Tao.
Chronic, got to carry it out to himself. Solo play, flip reset. Nobody's challenging Virtuoso. I like the patience. Knew exactly where a Chronic was going to drop the ball. And better clears. I mean, the clear game has been solid out of Elevate. They're not finding teammates down the other side, but the fact that they're able to get this ball to their own half, relieve a little bit of pressure, find some boost, and Make sure they're not getting starved. Realize once a solo play himself could have had the outlet pass to Virtuoso, but it's denied by Team Liquid.
Tao's gonna follow through and give it to his teammate. Dangerous as it might be, Elevate hold their breath, survive for the moment. The oncoming assault from Liquid has been deadly. They don't have a goal to show for it, but you know the pressure's certainly being felt. That's not a word. Elevate as they try to move back to the midfield and realize we'll have no boost to keep it moving, but Virtuoso will try to crash in before eventually it jets to the corner.
We do want to pay attention to the shot accuracy of Team Liquid up against Complexity. They had 56 shots and only 9 goals. And I think they've changed it in game 1, game 2. There's been a couple of shots here and there, but if you're Liquid, you want to find and hit your mark when you can.
Struggling to find the clear.
Ooh.
Elevate gonna get punished.
Okay.
That's how's not gonna waste a lot of time.
You can see the suffocation. Huge impact. Kami has to dodge the demo. He backflips on the goal line, realizes off the backboard. And this is just a routine play from Team Liquid. Applying pressure, looking to get a demo. You force the second man to jump up early. Nobody can get a quick challenge after the 50-50. And it's straight into the hands of Team Liquid for a solid shot on target. And now they can just cruise. I don't need to worry about what's happening on the field as much. You get the first goal. And this should be smooth sailing. Somebody from Elevate needs to mix things up, Spaceman.
And their backs are against the wall. Clearly, back-to-back games, they've struggled to keep the offense upfield into the blue half. Finding one another on the infield pass has not really been an option, but whether it's through the physicality, whether it's through just the 50 game, they have to get something going.
Oh, what a demo.
Because these demos are brutal on the mental, and Achronic plays it so perfectly, like stealing candy from a very small infant.
I mean, he sacrificed an arm and a leg, and he still came out in peak form, gets the shot, finds the demo, and Liquid, just like that, are up 2-0. Physical gameplay in game number 2, and it's a difficult matchup, Elevate. This isn't even the same Team Liquid. They're applying more strategies as we go on in this series.
Goodness.
And Achronic, you didn't have to do him dirty.
Is this theater of the mind, or is this a warm-up from Liquid?
Oh my.
Good gracious, that's going in the top 10. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
And you see how fast he gets down there from the ceiling. I don't even understand how these players can go up, hit the ceiling so quickly, and still follow the trail of the ball into the top corner. Wonderful work there from Liquid. And they just won a 4th one. Not stop it.
Pitchforked into the corner. Starting to see the separation from Liquid and Elevate right now, struggling as the former will keep their streak going at the midfield. 3 goals to their name, unanswered so far.
Good reset.
Elevate just trying to get out of their own half as Achronic is just playing with his food here. Burning boost, killing time, finding a demo, numbers away for Elevate.
Bro's just going for triple resets out here, like it's nothing.
And Elevate just looks scrambled, right? Like they don't have a lot of time to really congeal as a unit at the midfield to work on their counterattacks. Because when they have one at a time, they're getting demoed. When they can't find the pass, they're getting flustered.
And they don't have the boost to even go up for the challenge. That's the frustrating part. I think they understand that Achronic has space and somebody has to challenge, but you don't even have the option to get up early if you don't have the boost. Virtuoso stays behind the ball.
Nice.
That's a better 50-50 and a good follow-up. That is needed to get on offense, and you'll see what happens as a result of winning challenges in the midfield.
Those 50s are huge. Elevate need to keep that going. Virtuoso rotated out of his spot. We'll try to keep the play alive. Numbers stacked here for Liquid. And a foot race back to the corner is Kami just absolutely blown up. Power play for the moment. Elevate try to move upfield.
They need to extend. This is your time to push forward. You're in a drought. 3-0. Not a single goal in this game, and Achronic is still firing on all cylinders.
It's just a different pace for Liquid. Oski from the ceiling on a dish and dime to Achronic. Catches him in transition. The timing is off for Elevate, and you could see it in their player cams right now. They're a little bit exasperated.
Yeah, you don't see them getting too excited on the stage, staying very composed. And that's what you need to do against a team where you have the advantage. I mean, I think everybody coming into the series, whether you like to admit it or not, knows that Team Liquid is the team that should come out with a win here. And sometimes that can get in your head. The pressure can make you crumble. But for Team Liquid, they are as calm as can be. You see it through their player cams, the perspectives. And Elevate can't even get a goal in game number 2. I thought they looked fantastic in game number 1, kept it close, even got a goal, looked solid, but This is the Team Liquid they've got to learn how to take down.
Kept it really close, but the offense just wasn't there, nor in Game 2 on Forbidden Temple. 2-0 lead for Liquid very quickly as we move through our first match of the day. This was clinical. This was a bit of a beatdown. Liquid putting on the styles, the mechanics, the flair, the finesse, and for Elevate, back to the drawing board with very little time to make a result happen.
And for those fans of Liquid wanting to see a lower bracket run, this would definitely be one for the history books. You're starting all the way at the beginning of the lower bracket. Their first match now against Elevate, and Optic Gaming is waiting to see who their challenger will be, who their opponent is going to be as a result of this series. Take another look at the replays. Acronic did so much work. Solo plays from him, and this beauty. And this is what I'm talking about. He goes to the ceiling, barely uses a lot of boost after he jumps off the ceiling. The angle is perfect. The trajectory coming into that shot is flawless. I mean, I can't believe what some of these players are capable of, and that's just like a simple goal. That's a walk in the park for everybody here.
There you go. 6 years. A long time in esports. Give him his flowers while he's got them.
I do believe it's the birthday of Rocket League today.
It is the birthday of Rocket League.
It is the birthday of Rocket League. And I think Acronic also shares the birthday. I mean, we've got birthdays all around here. It's a beautiful thing to see. This game, it's almost been 10 years of my life, which is ridiculous. How much it's impacted all of these players.
How did it feel to make a top 4 at DreamHack Summer in 2017?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for bringing that back up.
So welcome.
I appreciate you. But something else we have to talk about is whether or not Elevate can get into this series, if they can fight back. I know they have it in them. You still can't count them out. We have to remember what they were able to do against Vitality. The peak is there. Their ceiling can match, if not exceed, Team Liquid. Who knows what can happen?
There it is.
And here's the first shot. Realize, coming alive.
That's the Elevate we know off the kickoff. Huge 50 from Virtuoso following suit. A similar trend in Game 2 and opening up the proceedings quickly here. Nicely done by Elevate.
That's what you want to see from the man who scored 1 goal per game against Vitality, who had 100% goal participation. Realize, necessary start for Elevate.
They're going to have to keep matching that aggression if you are Elevate. Supersede what Liquid are giving you. Be a little bit more creative on the offensive side of the ball downfield. As Liquid have been toying with their food for the majority of this series, and the towel from the ceiling has something dangerous cooking. Acronic can try to put this one away, and he will do so. Tie game.
And this is difficult. Right out of the kickoff, you are stuck on your own half. Realize through the backboard, doesn't even know when to challenge it because he knows Kami is up for the early contest, and he's waiting on the backboard. Didn't know if he could dive. Eventually, the spot opens up, and Team Liquid immediately get back into game number 3.
Kickoff win for Elevate. How do they chain it downfield? Realize leaving off. Okay, we'll play it back down to the turf, but gives it to Liquid on an interesting decision. Regardless, Virtuoso will be there. And now we'll start to see the press from Liquid. Pushing numbers up, have the boost to burn here as well.
And I don't mind that slow approach. I think Elevate realized they can't match the pace, match the speed of Team Liquid, so they've got to mix things up. Going for the slower approach, maybe delayed challenges or fakes off the backboard like that from Kami in the bottom right corner shot. It looks pretty, but the defense was prettier.
Small smoke screen on the offense. Love what I'm seeing from Elevate. Getting a little bit more comfortable upfield. Now just about winning the midfield game that they've struggled with in this series, but Liquid certainly can be bullied off the ball. Oski, a reset and burning a lot of boost. No, nobody's contesting. He's just taking his time. Finds the flip. Here comes the towel trying to pinch it down. Will do so. Nobody else around. Elevate now have to find a way to clear zone.
Kami's up for this early challenge, beating the midfield, and he's still following it past to the midfield. Good connection between the players of Elevate. The synergy firing right now for all players on the orange side, but they can't sustain any of it. It's like they get past the midfield line and are immediately thrown back, catapulted into their own half. How do they stay on offense? Will they get a demo? Can they get somewhere in this field that provides them a little more space to be creative? Because right now it's been all Team Liquid.
Elevate more than happy to slow down the pace, but you want to see it at the midfield rather than on your own goal line, where more pressure for Liquid means more opportunities for them to get mechanical on you, and that is its own disaster.
And Realize has full boost now, but he's immediately denied by Acronic. Too predictable, but again, it's all tied up. While Elevate have played an extreme amount of defense, they still just need 1 goal to take this game win and run down the clock in the second half. 2v1 situation, gets bumped out of the way. A toe paves it, and knocks him out of the goal line.
When you get pushed back hard enough, eventually you will fall. Atal is just the enforcer upfield. There's really not much Kami could do. A lead for Liquid, but plenty of time on the clock for Elevate. Their tournament life here on the line. Against Liquid, it's going to take a lot, but it's certainly doable. Off the kickoff, maybe they get something started.
They had a ferocious start. Realized has been relatively quiet now. In this game, he did step up. You want to see more. What else are they capable of? The defense crumbling. Liquid on a tear. They get comfortable, and then things seem to be over once they find their groove space.
That second touch from a Chronic was disgusting.
Absolutely.
There's nothing Elevate can do to outread that.
What a showing from a Chronic in this series. I mean,
Really?
He has been, when you talk about solo plays, he's been behind the ball so much. Of course, they've had demos, opportunities, but not a lot of passing, and it's because they have a player like a Chronic who could just go up by himself and create something out of thin air.
I mean, they haven't been forced to get creative, whether it's been clogging up those infield lanes, working through the passes, nice chain dash, try to escape upfield, keep the play moving, continue this one forward. But Elevate have been giving them pretty simple looks on defense, just isolated challenges on the ball, low 50s, playing it towards the backboard. Atal trying to get up with it yet again, covers it off his back own on the Fennec, making this one work to the most of the advantage. But for the moment, I mean, Liquid can just burn time here as Elevate have a lot of pressure on their shoulders right now.
And this is scary for this Elevate roster. You need 2 goals just to send us into OT.
Uh-oh.
Otherwise, you might be saying goodbye to your tournament life and your opportunity at the main event of the World Championship. Of course, they have guaranteed a spot at the wild card, but this is for main event. And also, your continued run in Boston. Will things change within the last 60 seconds?
You need a goal and you need it now. Can't afford to waste more time. It's got to be Virtuoso, the catalyst on the slow. Atal will immediately take it away. The longer it hangs in the air, the longer Liquid feel like they're pressing down on your head. 40 seconds to play.
Off the ceiling. I like the speed from Chronic, but they're wasting time. Throwing it into the corner, stealing the boost, taking it out of the hands of Realize. Oski, patient on the ground, knows exactly where every player wants to go from the opposition. And this should be smooth sailing. 20 seconds on the clock, and Liquid are looking at a clean 3-0 sweep against Elevate.
Sometimes you run into the old esports adage of one team is just a little bit better. Liquid, a little bit more clinical on this one. Elevate, oh no, don't do it to him. You can't end on something like that. Maybe a kickoff goal for the high spirits, but as of now, Elevate are done.
And I mean, what are you gonna do if you're Kami? You're looking for your own corner boost. Somebody's trying to take you out. You jump over him to dodge the demo. You're flying in the air, hoping, praying that a Chronic is gonna get a flip or at least go early in time. And that's gonna do it. Team Liquid, bring out the broom and sweep Elevate.
GG's all around, fist bumps. Liquid keep their hopes alive. For Elevate, we bid them farewell. We thank them for showing up to Boston and putting on a really good performance against Vitality.
You have to hold
but unfortunately, this is the part of Double Elim that's tough. As the bracket narrows, things get more difficult. It gets a lot harder to make this run, and they ran into Liquid at the wrong time.